Now I gotta do it all over again.
Yeah. Do it again.
Welcome to fucking tabletop, where the rules are made up and the shit don't even matter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome now officially to Degenerates with Dice, the inaugural episode of the Monday Night RPG Talk Show. But we promise in this inaugural episode not to storm the fucking Capitol. Let me introduce your fucking host for the night. You've got Joe
Hey,
up in the
everybody.
top. You got Jen,
Hello.
Kristen,
Hello.
and this dumbass, I'm Noah. Welcome to the Monday Night RPG Talk Show, where we talk about tabletop RPGs. Imagine that. So, I guess, do we want to like go around and say how we got our start in tabletop, and then we can dive into the nonsense we've decided to talk about for the night?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Kristen, you want to go first while I adjust something on my computer here?
So how I got started in tabletop?
Yeah.
How'd you get your start in tabletop?
All right. So growing up, I always wanted to play tabletop games. I always wanted to play DnD, and none of the girls or none of the boys would let me play because I'm a girl, and they thought that was dumb. So, Joe, your mic is low. Fix
My
that.
mic is low. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Good.
Oh, Opti's on. Hey, Opti. I love your game, by the way.
Better. Nice.
Let me turn the
But
compression up a little
one of
bit.
One of my friends actually had me beta test the Fallout tabletop, and that's how I started actually playing the Fallout video game too. That's how I met two of these nerds, and I played a couple sessions of tabletop, fell in love with it, and have started running games ever since. And I've been running games for about 3 years.
All right, I guess I can go next then. Since my mic is fixed.
Okay.
Oh, now it's too loud, probably. Let me just turn that down there. Okay. Yeah, so I'm Joe. I've been playing since I was in high school, so that was probably about, what, 13 years ago. My buddy Evan got me into it. He
Oh,
forced
shut
me
up.
to play with him at lunch. And so, yeah, you know, oh, I know. I'm sorry, Kristen. Yeah, I've been playing ever since. I've been addicted to it. I play a lot of Rifts. That's been my big game. And if you know what that is, I apologize on behalf of that game because it's so very much so in depth. But yeah, that's about it. I play with all these guys. You know, we played Fallout with Kristen, who's an amazing GM.
Well, thank you.
Jen, how
Jen, do you
about
want to
you?
go?
I have never played tabletop before our current Fallout with Kristen. So she is my very first GM.
I
And
kidnapped you.
Hmm?
I kidnapped you on Facebook.
yes, yes. And she threw it out there of, hey, anybody want to try a Fallout D&D like thing? Like, you know what? Sure, why not? I've been playing Fallout for a few years. Started with 4 and did 76. After I got into 4, I tried 3 in New Vegas because I heard they're really good. But
They are really good.
the
They are really good.
I
can't
got
do it.
I got spoiled because Fallout 4 let me pick up everything, and my inner loot goblin was like, yes, all the things. Take everything that's not nailed down, and if it is nailed down, try to pick it up. And with 3 in New Vegas, it didn't do any good to do that. And
I heard we're
so
supposed to go to the
I
quarry
finished it.
in New
Hmm?
Vegas, right? I heard we're
Was-
supposed to go to the quarry in New Vegas.
you don't go to the quarry until you're ready. That's the whole
Oh,
point.
okay.
You should go
Let's-
once just to see what we mean by it, but don't go to the quarry. Like just stay away from the quarry.
Oh, so that's my understanding is you're never going to be ready for the quarry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you will be at some point. It's just that it's when you're like completely like decked out. So after you've gotten everything.
Gotcha.
All right. So those are pretty cool intros. Should we move on to our first topic? I'm pretty excited about the first topic.
I mean, it's fine. Just, skip me. It's
No.
cool.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Noah's
Noah. My bad. I'm sorry.
I
'Cause-
thought you introduced yourself, Noah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. My
He
bad.
just
My
talks
blunder.
a whole
My
lot
blunder.
all the time.
Oh, and then not me and my tism/ADHD taking over. No, all right. So yeah, I'm Noah. I got my start in tabletop 3 years ago, about this time right now during the pandemic. Um, my parents growing up were pastors, so I kind of got up in that satanic panic thing. Couldn't play D&D, couldn't play Pokemon, Magic, any of that fun stuff. So yeah, a couple of my buddies during COVID were like, "Hey, I know we're not supposed to leave the house, but we got to play something. Let's play D&D." And I was like, I don't know. They're like, "Just trust me, you'll be fine." So um, I told my wife, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go play D&D," and she was like, "Okay." And my kid heard me, and she was like, "I want to go." So I self-invited my kid. And yeah, me and my 12-year-old have been playing D&D together for 3 years now. And I played one time, we both got hooked. And now I run 3 games. So I played one and then immediately took the plunge into behind the screen. And
That's how it works, isn't it?
yeah, and then I play in 2 of Kristen's games. Um, those are rad. Those are fun. Chicken Deluxe, motherfucker.
Chicken
Um,
deluxe. Just like Florida. Just like
even though
Florida.
some people say McChicken, but either way, it's fine. But yeah, I love tabletop. It's a hobby I never thought I'd get into, but I got bookcases now, and God knows how many dice. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
here we are. Let's talk about some tabletop. What do we want to talk about first?
So yeah, I'd say we talk about the. Actually, before that, I want to plug Opti's game since he's in the chat right now. Subversion's currently on Kickstarter. It's a fantasy cyberpunk, and it's pretty awesome. You guys check it out.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be up for a few more days. I've already backed it. I was an early backer, so I am getting the poster. So haha, you should have been early backer. But you know what? It's an amazing game. The beta is available to everybody. Read it, play it. It's definitely the best fantasy cyberpunk game I've ever seen. It's really easy to play. I'm really excited for it. So yeah, I guess let's transition into the first topic, which is the D&D movie. Everyone's talking about it. What do you guys think?
I got my tickets.
I'll
Ready to
watch
go.
it. I watched the first one. I know that they got weird reviews as far as
Yeah.
people not understanding of what it is they're watching, and it's no, you're watching people who are playing D&D. You're watching them as their characters, and so they weren't getting that you're watching an actor play another actor kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So that's why I think it's getting some of the shit reviews. Is which I hope language is okay because oh well, fuck it if it's not. um,
You're okay. It's whatever.
um, the people who don't know what they're watching aren't going to get it and aren't going to like it. People who
Yeah.
know what they're watching are going to love it. I'm looking forward to it because I know what I'm watching.
To be perfectly honest, I was sort of like on the fence just because I don't trust Hasbro to make anything good. You know what I mean? Like I don't like I'm kind of just like about it. But I've seen the reviews and the people who know of D&D think that it's pretty good. So I'm just kind of on the fence. I just don't trust large corporations to make really good films. To be perfectly honest with you, like I don't really like the Marvel films because they just kind of got repetitive after a while there. But that's my take on it.
Let me interject. I gotta cut Joe off for a second. Fuck you, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen was goddamn amazing, and I will not stand for such blatant disrespect and blasphemy.
That movie was garbage.
Excuse me, I gotta go taste test a 12 gauge real quick.
Whoa, those are fighting words.
Is that the most recent Transformers movie?
Revenge of the Fallen is number 2, right? Yeah, I think. I can look that up. We have the technology now.
That's because Joe says it's shit.
Yeah, don't watch any of
Listen,
the Transformers
Did you pay your
movies.
Google subscription?
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm definitely gonna go watch that damn Beast Wars movie.
Yo, I'm not Googling anything because I'm on a list because of all of you.
It's not just.
I'm not Googling
us,
anything
so.
ever again because I'm on a list because of every single one of you.
Yeah,
the whole
Revenge of the
Flare
Fallen.
base, the
Oh,
whole Flare base
it's
thing.
it's you guys.
Number two, the last good one, because that's when they kicked Megan Fox off.
Oh yeah. That's a terrible movie.
Also,
Oh, God.
Megan Fox in
But,
Jennifer's Body.
okay, so back to the movie. I will
Oscar
tell
Award
you.
winner. Yeah,
Yeah,
D&D.
Kristen, what do you
Who's
say?
up? You or me, Kristen?
No, you have to go sit down. Go sit down.
I am sitting down.
Well, I think okay. So y'all know that I run a tabletop for the kids at school.
Mhm.
So they all want to go see it when it comes out, like a field trip. So I might be planning a field trip. I might be in charge of small children or young children out in the real world
Wow.
That's a scary
that aren't
thought.
mine.
It'd be kind of cool though, because if they
It's
get
terrifying.
it,
So, but
if-
they all want to go see it. Like, and I think it would be a cool thing for our tabletop to do, like our little group.
yeah, 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 and if they get it, that'll be like, like, oh, wow, that's, like what I like is now mainstream.
They're
That's
all
pretty
excited,
cool.
but I
Yeah.
don't know if I want to be in charge of the small people.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in charge of small people.
How
Now-
many small people are you talking about?
Hey, Christian.
Yeah, no. There's 5 on my table, 6 on my
Okay.
table, and they're all
Okay.
like sophomore, junior, senior. But
Oh,
I
that's
don't
fine.
know.
Yeah, they're
You just have to
basically
make sure
adults.
that
Okay,
that
am I
nobody
lagging?
brings
Or
a blanket.
What's
Yeah,
that?
you're lagging a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, wee bit.
see, that's what I don't want. That's how you get pregnant.
It's all good.
Wait, what?
Well, I am looking forward to it because I know, like I said, I started playing 3 years ago, and so it was with my actual like core friend group. So we're all going as a table together.
Aw. So you're going
And
on a field trip.
yeah, we're going on a field trip, and yeah, so we're gonna go and we're gonna have a blast. And
Don't bring a blanket.
huh?
Exactly. Don't allow them to bring blankets.
Don't bring a blanket.
I mean, listen, my wife's going. I might bring a blanket,
Oh God.
but we're consenting adults, and you can't tell us what to do.
In a theater full of children, probably.
Okay, let's be real. The only children that are going to see that movie are the ones that are going with Kristen. It's going to be full of nothing but 30 and 40
Yeah,
year
30,
olds.
30 and 40-year-olds. Yeah, yeah.
And
But
and dudes who talk their girlfriends into going to it because Chris Pine's in it.
yeah, but
They
I mean,
don't
like,
have girlfriends.
yeah, I'm about to say, like, who are these dudes you're talking about, man? Like, D&D dudes don't have girlfriends.
Ow.
Yeah, but, like,
That was a fluke. And you were
Yeah.
married before you played.
yeah.
That's fair. But I was
Like,
fully
what-
engulfed in my nerddom when she met me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I probably will go see it eventually, just because the Bugbear looks awesome. Just to be perfectly honest with you, the Bugbear animation did look pretty cool, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
It's-
think I'll see it in theaters. Once it comes to streaming, we'll probably see it.
I wish they still had those like bootleg DVDs on the corner that you could just pick up, like when you used to be able to pick up the old Star Wars bootleg DVDs. I wish they still had those for the
Gosh.
D&D game.
Last time I
the
saw
D&D
one of
movie.
those was on a Korean street corner, but that was
Like 10 years ago, probably.
a little longer than that.
Yeah,
Korean
before
Korea.
torrents.
So
I will go a little off topic with that one. Was the last time I saw one of those was right before I got pregnant with my youngest son, who just turned 18 today.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
God.
Wow. Oh, happy birthday
So-
to him.
on topic, because you're not running a proper campaign of any kind unless you have stolen somebody else's work. Right. Because if you ain't plagiarizing, you ain't fucking trying. So, my middle brother runs our family Plex server,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
and so he always has the latest and greatest box office smash hits available day one, but they are filmed off of a cell phone camera and have Mandarin Chinese subtitles. So,
Absolutely.
I could stay at home and watch it, but I'm
Yes,
just I'm gonna give in, and I've been giving Hasbro money hand over fist with Magic for
And
years
forever.
now.
Yeah.
So why not give them another $40? It's fine.
You are their
Is
target
that how
audience.
much they
Bella.
cost now? Is $40? For the
Well,
ticket?
it's gonna be my part is because it's gonna be me, my wife, and my daughter.
Mm,
So it'll be roughly $30 because we go to the
okay.
bougie theater, where there's like
Yeah, with the
food and alcohol.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta do
And
that.
and the
There's no
nice,
point.
nice comfy recliners.
There's no point in going
Because
to a regular theater.
dude, okay, so we went to go see the Batman when it came out, right?
Oh yeah.
And we originally were gonna go to the bougie theater because we've been going there since it opened. And then something happened. It was like, well, one of the guys couldn't go, so it was like, well, we can go tomorrow, but we got to go at like 8 o'clock in Stephenville. I was like, I mean, all right, whatever. I forgot that's a 3.5 hour movie,
Oh
and
yeah.
I have no ass. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
straight.
yeah.
It's like
It's the
spine,
Hank
pelvic
Hill,
bone, jeans. Yeah,
Hank
no,
Hill
no.
situation.
Hank Hill has a fucking dump truck compared to me. Okay, I'm.
You
It,
like a
it,
frog that stood up.
listen. You can draw a line from the back of my skull to my heels, and you're not gonna hit anything, right? It's nothing. So, you know, it was about 30 minutes in, and I was like, oh shit, I fucked up. And my wife's like, what are you talking about? I was like, we definitely came to the wrong movie theater. She goes, why? I said, because I'm watching the Batman and I want to go home. Like, that's how uncomfortable it is.
Ouch.
So, yeah. So, after that,
Just tell her you want to sit in her lap.
yeah, she wasn't having that. She was trying to take a
No.
nap. She was like, get the hell away from me. It is 9 o'clock at night. I have worked 12 hours a day. Leave me alone. I'm taking a nap. Thank you for spending $14 so I can sleep in this dark movie theater. I was like, yeah, no problem. Yeah, so we're like, no, we're never going to this movie theater again, ever. Period. I don't care if it's a 5 minute short film. It's way too long.
Okay,
But
I'm gonna refresh the screen real quick because the chat's cropped. So give me just
Noah
one
looks like
second.
a frog that stood up.
Okay, cool.
go ahead, keep it up, Kristen. Keep it up.
Uh-oh, it's gonna get a little spicy here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do? I'm trying to help you.
No, keep it up. Go ahead. Keep
I
up with
will
the
say
personal attacks. Because Chicken Deluxe will cause some fucking chaos. And we
Fine.
know he will. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna play in your next game when you start it. And I'm like, bet, that's fine. But I have a memory. I really don't, but this is
It's
on the
only like
internet.
this big.
Bitch, I will
Yeah.
help
And
you.
the
It's
internet
fine.
never forgets.
As a person with ADHD,
I
we
will
don't
out.
have memories. We don't have memories.
No, nothing.
We have like glimpses
We
of
all
the
have
past.
ADHD though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like all of us. It's like a fever dream every time.
That's why it's so cool. So I guess should we
It's every
talk
day's a
about
new
the other
day.
topic now, or should we just keep on the?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so I guess we can go around and talk about what our top three advice things are for like either as a player or as a GM. Like, what's your top three things that you should keep in mind as a player or GM? I feel like that's a good way to start it out, kind of get our ideas out there. So
I
I
will
guess
let
I'll,
y'all
Chicken
go
gotta
first
say.
because
Oh,
y'all are GMs. I've never GM'd before.
yeah, but you're a player, and that's also useful
you're a
for
player.
us. And you're a new player. That's super
Also,
important.
also,
Brand
Jen,
spanking new. Mhm.
you could come at it from an approach as what would you like to see a GM do in the future when it comes
Yeah,
to you?
yeah.
Oh, that's true.
I'll be
'Cause these
taking
Well,
notes over here.
yeah, because our campaign's been going on for about almost a year and a half now. Because we
Yeah.
started in September of 2021,
Just so you know,
and
Jen is a note taker, so like she's like, the precious
I
one that everybody wants in their
am.
group.
Give me just
She
one
is
second.
my heart and my soul right now. She's who I rely on because I have no idea what happens one game to the next.
Yeah.
This is the Wasteland Notebook.
I love it.
So this is all session notes. So
Now,
including
if you
the ones
guys
we had from
want
last time.
to take a very quick look into the type of table that we run, Jen, do you just want to go ahead and give them a sample of last
Yeah.
session's notes?
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
I
The one
think
before that.
Also,
Um,
shout out to
so
Woodbird Games. Shout out to Woodbird Games. That's one of my local gaming shops.
hell
It's the
yeah.
good
Hey,
one. It's an
nice.
FLGS.
Hell
all
yeah.
right. I will give you guys actually the last paragraph of our session early last month. Eddie takes Maxon's coat, Sally knots Maxon's body around the steering wheel. Sam is injured, tells Randall and Lando to get a vertibird ready, and Lando has to fly it. Millie's in shock at the feralness and death of Marty. That's it. That's the last paragraph. And that's of what, 3 or 4 pages of notes.
I will, real quick, just want to say that on this table, it is no longer roll for initiative. It is roll for war crimes.
You're fucking
There's-
right, and don't you forget it, lady.
Roll for war crimes.
Roll for
Rest in
war
peace
crimes.
to all the people who were stepped on by power armor.
I think
Yes.
it's what all but what
Hold on.
3 of us in the entire table are some kind of former military intelligence
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
with a very extreme understanding of the Geneva Conventions. I mean, suggestions.
Geneva guidelines?
The rules are more like guidelines.
Guideline. But okay, no, hold on. The reason I say that I'm on a list because of you guys, I had to Google if I could force feed a quadriplegic pork and beans.
It's Fallout.
And there was also how much adhesive can you make with the human body?
Yes,
yeah,
there was that
yeah.
too.
Horse glue. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yep. We definitely love our war crimes in the wasteland. It's kind
Yeah.
of we definitely look forward to it on game night.
And FYI, so that people do not have to look that up and get on the list as well, the human body makes at least 3 units of adhesive. 25% of the body weight can become glue, and that was per Reddit.
So if your table's ever curious, that's what you need to know. So dropping knowledge bombs on you.
Also,
me up.
GMs, Reddit is your friend.
Reddit is your friend.
So I guess I'll do my top 3 then first.
Yes, please.
My number 1 is energy. Like, you got to bring the energy. You have to be the most excited person at the table because you set the tone for everyone else. I mean, like that. You got to be. Oh, that's true. But you're also a GM, so it's like, and like also we're all kind of like ADHD explosion there, and so. But like as a general rule, if you're a GM, you gotta bring the excitement. You gotta challenge people. Like, and part of that is like with prep. Like, don't prep solutions. Just make problems for your players. That's all you have to do. It's like just keep making problems, and that they'll be super happy. That's all you need. So yeah, like you're in the problem department. It would be number 2. And then I guess for number 3, just read the table. Don't that's really the big thing is don't just be looking at your notes the entire time, which I think, most people know not to do that, but I've seen it happen way more times than once. Especially if you have girls at the tables, don't say anything weird unless, it's already part of the vibe of the table. Like we say whatever at our table because it's, we're all adults who are also children at the same time. But in general, I think that's what I would recommend. You guys can, expand on that if you want.
The thing you had us look over with the
Can I go next? Oh, good.
you had us sign it or look over things that we're okay with, maybe okay with, and definitely not okay with. That thing.
That's not a consent form.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That was
yeah.
really, really helpful to be able to put things of okay, like this is definitely a hard stop. No, absolutely not. This is whatever. Let it happen.
Wait, does that mean I was raped?
Well,
'Cause
believe it or not, I actually
definitely
referenced
didn't
that.
fill out a consent form.
No. Well, and that's because I was playing with a bunch of people that I had no idea who they were. Like my pirate table, which is the other table that Noah plays on. Like I know all those people intimately. And those were a group of friends that I had with the exception of one. But you guys, I had just found on Facebook, so
Shout
I had
out
no
Saturday
clue
and
who you.
ATN.
But I wanted to be sure that I wanted that everybody had fun and I didn't cross any lines. And I actually reference that pretty often before we play. It's in my Fallout notebook. But I guess can I segue into my
Absolutely
advice? My first one, and I'm gonna tell you all day long, and I probably GM a little bit differently than others do, but I believe that my GM style and my job as a GM is to provide you with scenery and bad guys. And I'm gonna let you guys tell the story. And if I let you go long enough, you're gonna tell me the story that you want to play. And that's why I ask you guys so often to describe what's happening. Because I know what I see in my head, but that may not be what you're seeing. So I want to make sure that everyone on the table has the same idea of what's happening. So that's why I'm very much a player-led GM, where y'all are talking about things. I'm like, hey, I bet I could throw some sort of kink in that problem. Let's see.
Hey, we
But
like kinks at our table.
yeah, you do.
I think
My
mic's
second
too loud.
advice is let
Put it right there.
Joe play an NPC. Just let him play like an
Yeah,
NPC,
yeah.
and he's going to be very happy.
I'm definitely the NPC player, unfortunately.
It works though. I'm like, what do you think happens? And or like, it's funny to watch him light up. Like if there's a critical failure, I'm like, Joe, what
Yeah,
happens? And he's like,
yeah.
oh,
Well, that
but
came from my
also,
OSR thing though, because like OSR games, like dying is like the most fun parts. Like I just don't care if my character dies. Like I just don't care. I just want to see what happens to them. Like
He likes the ragdoll
like
physics
you've
of
been hit
yeah,
with
post death.
yeah,
yeah, like you've been hit with like a leg, like a golf club. Like there's been a lot happened to
yeah,
you.
That was the
yeah,
arm.
yeah,
That was an
You
arm.
lost a finger
But my third,
and stuck it back on.
there what?
Lost
Oh,
the
there was so many body
arm.
parts. There's a
Yeah.
foot.
yeah,
There was so many.
yeah.
But
Lost a lot
my
of
third
stuff
piece
there.
of advice is probably just let people be true to their characters.
Yeah,
Like let people be true to their characters and let them live out what they want. Basically, as a GM, you're a free therapist. I mean, let's
yeah,
not
yeah,
sugarcoat
yeah,
that. Like you're
yeah.
watching people walk through all kinds of problems
It's
and work out things in their heads, you know.
it's a
That's
really fun version of
But
group
let me
therapy.
Yeah, yeah. People actually use it as group therapy too. Like it's been used for that.
we
yeah.
I think it was about a year ago.
Well, I've watched you guys like you can tell like when you're working through something.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it was a couple years. It was before me and the kid played D&D for the first time, but because like I played Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter and stuff like that, so I have an understanding of the D20 system, right? I just never physically played it. And my daughter comes home and she's like, "Oh, Dad, we're doing this really cool thing in school about the Civil War." I was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, my teacher like had us take this dice with a bunch of numbers on it, and we had to roll, and then we got our job, and then we rolled again, and then that picked." Which side of the war we fought on, and then we just like kept rolling this dice for like how things happened. I was like, "Did you guys play Civil War Dungeons and Dragons?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "You definitely played D&D Civil War." Like 100. I said, just out of curiosity, I said, "Do you know what happened in the Civil War?" She's like, "Yeah, the North won, they freed the slaves." I said, "Did something different happen in your quote unquote lesson?" She's like, yeah, the South won." I said, "Yeah, you definitely played D&D Civil War, 100%." There's no question. So yeah, like I that's what I think is so cool about tabletop is
you just don't
it's
know what's
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
yeah, like it's obviously the main thing is everybody have fun, but like there's so many things that come out of tabletop. Like we said, there's therapy. There's you can use it for education. You can use it for just random bullshit to get people together. Hell, we have a list on our fridge of 20 restaurants in Stephenville, Texas, and if we can't decide what are we gonna have for dinner tonight, we let the dice decide.
Roll
Hey.
for initiative.
Roll for
You know?
restaurant, baby. So, Jen, what about you? What's your three things?
Hey, Jen.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Were you thinking?
Uh I thought I'd already gone. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
So
good.
I really like how so I've our my table is the only one that I've ever been on before. The only experience I have with others is watching um different people online play. Like I watch Dropout by College Humor. They have a group called Dimension 20 and I watch
Yeah.
them and that's been a lot of my exposure to it. And I like the way that you can take the same kind of dice mechanics and apply it to it's not just dungeons and it's not just dragons. It's, sci-fi and you get space and, you can do, the wasteland. And I think that it's really cool that, the first time I ever heard of D&D, I was in high school. My friends, we were at her house and her brother and his friends were out there playing it. They were playing it in the living room. Then they went outside LARPing, and we're just like, well, they're being a bunch of dorks, and now I'm doing this, going, that's really fun. I really wish I'd have paid attention to what they were doing. Um, but being flexible, I think, is really fun with it. And I think one thing that Kristen's told us has been that whatever they're going, whatever you want your table to do, they're going to do the opposite.
Every
Yep.
time.
Yep, every time.
Every time.
So,
I mean, and that's fine. I mean, like, I don't think she even really wants us to do anything. She's just sort of like, whatever happens, happens here, and it's always just the most
yeah.
ridiculous thing possible. Just in case you guys are curious, Kristen's having network issues, so we were just re-inviting her back into the stream here. It's a guest slot.
It's been a lot of fun to definitely have that variety, the flexibility, and the I'm one who likes to have a plan A and a plan B and a plan C and maybe plan D and keep going down the alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess as a GM, I guess that is something that would be helpful, because you're like, okay, we could do this, or we could go this direction, we can go this direction. But yeah, just and I guess taking that few minutes after the session, we'll wrap it up and like, okay, what you guys think, any ideas of what you guys want to head towards next time. It's always good.
Yeah. And also just
I'm
like,
really enjoying that.
Yeah, we could tell. Yeah, you've been you've really kind of come out of your shell. I love Sally the Super Mutant. She's awesome.
When I was looking at the characters and I was like, oh, a super mutant, I'm definitely doing that. No idea why, but that was just the character that called to me. So I wasn't doing, just a basic human vault dweller. I don't think any of us are vault dwellers in that group, are we?
No.
No.
Why would you be? Why? Yeah.
That's just stupid.
I mean,
Yeah. Because we have raiders, super mutants, ghouls.
It's a very ghoul heavy group.
It
Mr.
is,
Handy.
but that's
it's a very
okay.
cool heavy group. I
What-
did kill one of
wait.
them though.
We have a Mr. Handy now.
Yeah.
There is Mr. Handy.
Yeah.
And then me and Casey are survivors.
Raiders are
Or
survivors.
no, we're wastelanders.
Yeah, but Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
Raiders.
Because
You
Bone
got
Shakes is
Kazar,
the
she's a
raider.
Raider.
Yeah.
'Cause he showed up in the Raider power armor.
But he does have a
After-
Brotherhood of Steel tattoo?
Yeah.
No,
that
that's
was
Bone
made from
Shakes.
Nuka-Cola Quant. That's that's right. Yeah, you're
Bone
right.
Shakes.
Bone Shakes, yeah, he got that made with Nuka-Cola Quantum, and Scribbles gave it to him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out
It
to
worked though.
Scribbles.
The Brotherhood bought it.
She murdered Elder Maxon. Shout out to Scribbles for doing the right thing.
Shout out Scribbles.
Shout out Scribbles. She's a play practice today, huh?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
got opening night this week, doesn't she?
Oh yeah, she
Ugh,
does.
Rough.
Break a leg, Maddie.
Anybody out there in Ohio, go to the Round Town Players and go see A Few Good Men.
Oh, is that
So-
what she's doing? I didn't even know it was A Few Good Men.
Yeah, they all shave their heads.
Oh wow.
Dude, that's dope.
Damn.
They
That's,
put some
that's dope.
dress rehearsal pictures up today or yesterday, and
Yeah.
I was really impressed by some of the salutes I saw. Because sometimes when you see actors saluting, it's usually just awful. And I know veterans in active duty will all cringe when they see somebody do like this, and you're like, no. Somebody teach them proper, please.
My favorite's this one right here. This is the one that gets me. Like, I normally don't break in a movie, but when I see this, I kind of lose my shit.
Isn't that
And
like
I
the
try-
Nazi salute? Like, isn't that how they?
No, that's the
they-
British.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
No,
British
lost
do
the
like
war
this.
to us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's that. And we kicked your ass in '76, bitch. Don't make us spill some more tea. But I'm just kidding. Any of my Brits that are watching, I love you boys. Tony,
It's a
Luke,
friendly rivalry.
assholes.
I mean, I
Well,
don't think they even care because like they had so many colonies that just eventually split off from them that we're just one of many. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a
It
big
used
deal
to be
for us, but for them, it's just like, yeah, you know,
it was
Another one
was
down.
it the sun used to never set on the British Empire, I think
yeah.
is what it was.
Yeah.
Now
So
the
they
sun
used to
never
have somewhere
rises.
in
It's
every.
all gray there
I
all
mean,
the time.
listen, I know I know I can't say, that our country is not without our problems, but we did hand those fuckers across the pond their first big L, so we got that
That's
going
true.
for us,
Yeah.
and you can put that in your fucking fish and chips and
We're
munch on it.
back-to-back world champs.
Back to back World War champs, son. Haven't
To
been
be
on a real
fair,
hot streak since, though. Haven't been on a
yeah,
hot streak since.
yeah. No, we had Desert Storm. We did some damage in Desert Storm, but we
Yeah.
were smart enough just to leave after that. But then the next ones we just were like, hey,
Me-
why don't we stay here in this place and nobody wants us?
And
But
then the next one, we got this corner of the screen.
We're like the fucking jocks that peaked in high school. Like,
yeah,
Hey, easy, 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 easy. I thought we were done with the personal attacks, Kristen. Jesus.
never
All
ever
right.
shall I be done
All
with the
right.
personal attacks.
All right.
all
All
right.
right. I need
So
my safe space.
I guess we should probably get back on topic. But yeah, I mean, like, what do you
Fine.
guys think? I mean, like, based on all that, I don't think anything was controversial. Just like essentially just make problems for your players is the big thing at the GM
Well,
thing.
do you mind if I expand on this topic a little bit? I would like to
Absolutely,
give
go
my
for.
I'd like to give my three bits as a GM, but also as somebody who plays in as many tables as he runs. I think if it's okay with you, I'd like to give some player advice too.
Wait, should I be
Give
listening?
it, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Should
should
I be taking
definitely
notes
be
for Kristen?
listening.
Yes, please.
We're about to have shots fired here.
Yeah, I'll put them in a
Shit.
PDF here. Now,
Here we
so on the behind the screen side of things, I would say um, i- you're going to get out of your table exactly what you put into it. So if you go into it with the fuck, it's Sunday and I gotta run this fucking table for these idiots, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
You
they're gonna
know,
feel that vibe. They're gonna feel that vibe.
yeah. Even if, because I mean, listen, I'm not on the spectrum. I am the spectrum, right? So like, there's one table
Reading
that I
Rainbow.
yeah, reading Rainbow. There's one table that like I know I've shared with Kristen, and I think I've shared it with Matt too. But there's one table that I have that we play every other month because that table I sink literally all my GM effort into.
Hmm.
I have built that. It's the first game that I've ran. It was supposed to be a one shot. It's now turned into a 2-year campaign.
Wow.
Um, there is actual produced audio narration with music and dialogue that I do for this table because they're into it, they love it, and they said the first time I did it, which was just I was like, I'm just gonna try this to see if it works, right? And then
Yeah.
they were like one of the guys at my table, he's been playing D&D since he was 8 years old, and I, he's like, I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody I've ever played for, but he's like, that was literally the most fun session of D&D I've ever had. He's like, you have no clue. You left us with that audio bit that you did, and it's been 4 hours, and I want to play. So like, what you put into it, your table is going to react to. And even if
Yeah.
you don't do the whole, spending 14 hours prepping and all that stuff, even if if you've got the starter set for D&D and you're just running it word for word, give them something. You got to give the table some of you and they will give you all of them.
If
They
you're happy to
they
be there, they will be.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you're having a good time, they're going to have a good time. The other thing about that is when your players are having a good time, let them have a good time.
Yeah.
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 I
Yeah.
like I said, I run 3 tables. Um eh, I have a table that they are strictly point A to point B as quickly as possible. They have They don't care about resistance. They're just there to roll dice and drink beer. Fine, cool, got it. I'm here for you. I got you. My other table, the extreme table, the one that has, every other month, though they have asked me to create a world for them to play in, which I have from scratch. And their entire goal when we play is how do we break Noah's campaign immediately? Like if we haven't broken the game and the story 5 minutes in, we're not playing right. And I mean, I have to tell you, like at first, it was kind of a kick in the nuts. It was like I just did all this, and like you didn't do anything. But then I'm like, oh wait, you're all having fun. So all right, screw it. I'll build, and I come from the approach of like Kristen. It's my job to give you the toys. It's your job to play with said toys
Yeah.
and just do that, and you'll be surprised what can happen. The third thing on the GM side that I would say is don't be afraid to fail
Yeah. Yeah.
because you're going to do some stuff. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
But if you've got the right energy and the right table, they'll bail you out and not even know that they bailed you out.
Yeah.
Like my first session behind the screen was an absolute shit show. I had 9 pages typed out in size 10 font, single
Jesus.
spaced, no paragraph, just one 12-page paragraph, basically, right?
Jesus Christ.
This is the story. This is how it's going. They're going to this room, blah, 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 blah. 30 seconds in, I had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know what to do. I didn't know where we were going. I didn't know where they were going, but they took over. And it was like, okay, I
Well,
let them take over.
Yeah.
And at that
Yeah.
point, the game just evolved into, like I said, what was supposed to be a one shot into a 2-year campaign.
Noah, can I piggyback off of that real fast?
Absolutely.
Another thing is don't be afraid to tell your players that you're stuck.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to ask
Yeah.
your players to help. I mean, I don't know how many times I've asked Joe, hey, Joe, where in the rule book is this? Because I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah.
And I don't think it bothers you, does it? Does it take away from the game?
No, I do the same thing at my tables. I do the exact same thing because it's just like, I mean, I would rather you not and keep it moving than I would just look it up, and then instead of you having to sit there and everything goes quiet and dead for 5 minutes
Yeah.
as you try to navigate this horribly laid out book. You know what I mean?
Right. And if anything, if whatever else, like the rule of cool will always apply at my
Yeah.
tables.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
always. Sorry to interrupt, Noah. I just needed to add on to that
I
real
can
fast.
speak to that personally. The rule of cool will always apply.
Yeah. It has
Um,
to apply. Yeah.
and on the player side, I'll switch over to that real quick. The the biggest thing is um, if you're gonna play tabletop and you decide, hey, I'm gonna make that plunge and I'm gonna do this thing, then make the plunge. Don't like toe in the water, play in the shallow in the kiddie pool part of it. Dive head in, straight into the deep end. Go off the high dive, like because you unless you're harming somebody else, I would say you can't be wrong in tabletop. I mean, even like let me get my player's handbook here. Where is it? It's what, Joe? Page 14,
Uh,
right?
oh
That
yeah.
or page 1, where it's somewhere in here where it's like, hey, look, these are the rules, but like,
You can change them. It's,
you
it's
know,
not. It's rule number one in pretty much every book is that it's it's subject to change. Like it's
Yeah.
whatever works best for your party. Like that's just it. So I've
yeah.
played
I
in very different tables. You know what I mean? Like it's just that's the way it goes. But it just gives it the vibe you want. So I'm sorry, Kristen, you were saying something.
Well, I say I don't know a single table that I've played on or run where if you're a stringent rule follower, where it has to be this way,
It's
anybody's
not
gonna have
fun.
fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I
So
want like I want a table where people come home. I want people to like message me behind the scenes, and Noah freaking calls me after every game. That's the most badass game I've been on. Maddie messages me, "Oh my god, I've never had so much fun." I want a game that you want to go home and tell your partner about.
yeah,
That's all I
yeah,
want.
yeah, yeah.
So let me just read this real quick. This is okay. So this is the cover of the current edition of the Player's Handbook. Okay. So we got the table of contents, page 1. Okay. Above all else, D&D is yours. The friendships you make around the table will be unique to you. The adventures you embark on, the characters you create, the memories you make, these will be yours. D&D is your personal corner of the universe, a place where you have free reign to do as you wish. Go forth now, read the rules of the game and the story of its world. But always remember that you are the one who brings them to life. They are nothing without the spark of life that you give them. So, with that said, the key, and I'm just going to use D&D because it's everybody has
The
their
number
favorite
one thing.
system,
Yeah, yeah.
but let's go ahead and just be real. That's tabletop where it began, right? Without D&D, you don't have any of the other games that we all play in.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. That,
what I
I
would
could
say
see
is
that.
the first rule of tabletop is, bro, just dive in, have fun.
Yeah.
Like you can't be wrong. And I mean, like my
Well,
daughter, for example, my daughter's a shy kid, or at least she was. She's absolutely come out of her shell now, and part of that is because of our D&D campaign. She was reserved. She was like, I just want to go so I can hang out with dad. And then it was roll dice, and she was the elven wizard, right? And then like 6 weeks in, she's sitting there and she goes, oh, and she just has an epiphany. Well, if I cast magic missile on this one thing, that should make it do another thing, which makes that happen. And then there's this whole cycle, and she hits it, and she's like, dude, my character's awesome. I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
get into it. And now all of a sudden she's role playing wizard. She's creating characters. Like she's 12 years old and she's writing her own campaign because of, the experience she had at the table when she finally just gave into the character. So give into the character. Just yes, you're going to look silly. Yes, you're going to sound ridiculous. Yes, you're going to look stupid as hell. But
The
that's
right people
fine
don't care.
because there's 3 to 7 more people at that table who are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Case in point right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um the second thing that I would say is feel out the vibe of the table and roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're a bunch of fucking skeezy weirdos, then that's fine. You can all be a bunch of skeezy weirdos. You know what I mean? But like read the table, and if some people aren't cool with certain things, then just
Don't do it.
don't be a dick.
Yeah.
That's the only way I know how. Don't be a dick. Excuse me as I burp.
It's all good.
Wow. Um and then lastly I would say is is so in the military, right? The three of us over here, we can at least relate to this. It was have a
I was never in the
plan.
military.
It's have a plan, go over the plan, recreate the plan for the plan to go crazy, watch the plan fail, create a new plan. Okay,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the steps of planning. Okay, and I have to say, you should definitely apply that to D&D
Yeah.
because you get to roll these nice pretty 20-sided die, and sometimes the dice do not like you. I just rolled a 16, so the dice like me tonight, but they're not always going to like you, and you're going to come up with this awesome fucking thing that you want to do, and you're going to go, and I roll a 1. Shit.
That's the
So
most
just
fun part.
fail as
Yes.
gloriously
Yeah.
and as
Yeah.
epically as you can. Like
Yeah.
just own it and go with it, because your table's going to be in stitches laughing. Your
Yeah.
GM's going to have a blast because even though it's not necessarily the GM versus the players, because it shouldn't be. That's
Oh yeah.
It's
side
not.
Yeah.
side rule for GMs number 4. Um
Yeah.
but like it kind of gives the GM like, all right, okay, maybe we can cause some chaos here on my side of the
Well,
screen here.
it also
You
goes
know,
back to my thing of you're in the problem department, where when the players are creating their own problems because they rolled a 1, I mean that just does your job for you. So you get like 15
Absolutely.
minutes of a
exactly,
break.
Well, and
exactly. And go ahead.
I hand out luck points and danger point or hero
Yeah.
points and stuff like that like candy. Because if you're doing something that makes me laugh or that makes me happy, and y'all are having fun, then I'm gonna hand that stuff out because it
Yeah.
makes you guys happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, these are just, they're just like I said, tabletop is not the rules aren't hardcore. You know what I mean? You're not going to
Yeah.
prison because you violated a rule.
Yeah.
Even at the most hardened of tables that I've seen, it you know
Well,
you're gonna roll with the punches basically,
absolutely.
and that's part of the fun.
Well,
100% is okay. This happened. Now what can we do?
and another
Like
thing that
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
come across as a GM and that I've had to learn the hard way because, like, I'm a likable person. I'm a charismatic person. I'm a fun person.
that's debatable.
But you're still here, motherfucker. But not everybody wants to play on your style of GM table. And
Yeah.
I've had several people that have left my tables because it wasn't what they wanted. And I've had to be cool with that. Like I had to make sure I didn't get my feelings hurt by that. And I didn't take it personally. I just am not the GM for them.
Yeah. 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 Some people want like very in depth, like super planned out stuff.
And
And
serious
I'm
games.
just
I don't do serious
I,
games.
yeah. And I mean, there's a place and time for it, but I can't, I can't do that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I've had people leave my table, and it's like, well, that's fine. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. It took me a long time to not be bitter about it, just because I'm so used to everyone liking me. Like,
Yeah.
What a surprise. I'm
except for
sorry.
you, I live on your hatred, Noah.
Now the personal attacks are coming from me. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a better person.
Than me? Never.
Easy, lady. Lando will have his revenge. And if not, Saturday and Etienne will team up. Baguette.
Saturday
that's a
says Eric
joke.
from other people.
That's a joke only me and Kristen get. Yeah, so okay, so just to explain to people the approach I take to character creation, okay? Just to kind of just give you a brief look into this twisted thing in here, okay?
What's our time limit? How long are we going?
I'd say maybe like a few more minutes, but it depends. We can just keep going until we're done. We just keep going until we're done. We don't have a hard time limit.
Okay.
It's like when it comes to character creation, don't be afraid to do something stupid.
Yeah.
Like at Kristen's Fallout table where me, Jen, and Joe play, right? My character is named Lando Roberts. He is a cross between Lando Calrissian and Wesley the Dread Pirate Roberts from Princess Bride.
Yes, he is.
And I play him exactly like that. He says dumb shit. You have no clue what's about to come out of his mouth. But every once in a while, he does some Lando ass shit and saves the day. Nobody knows how. Nobody knows why. He doesn't even know how. Right?
Who knew he could fly a vertibird?
Nobody.
And
But it
catch.
just
Turn it
the-
on its side to catch the falling.
And to be fair, like even that was just like one of those things where the dice made it awesome because he was not supposed to make all those checks. Like it was less.
Oh,
than,
not
it
at
was like
all.
less than
But the
40% or whatever.
dice were blowing me that night, and I
Yeah,
loved it.
yeah.
Sorry, that
I
was a little
was in
graphic.
shock, you guys. I was in shock.
Because I had talked to Casey, and I was like, listen, hey, I think we're escaping in this one way, and if we are, I just kind of need you to go with whatever I throw at you. And he was like, okay. I said, so just whatever I throw at you, just throw it right back at me. Just bring me the energy so I can get into character. He's like, all right, got you. And then it just they all just kind of fell into place. And I was just making shit up as I went. It's fine. And then we had Joe over here DJing on the radio,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. While
And
also
it was
shooting out the side of the vertebra like it's a Huey.
yeah, and it was a great time. So like I have that character who is stupid as hell. Like it should not work. And then I have my other character at Kristen's other table, whose name's Saturday, who is a bard in her 7th Sea game, which is basically just D&D pirates, but there's no bad guys. Is the simplest way that I can break that down.
You're
due to
pirate
time.
heroes.
Pirate heroes. That's right. There's no
But there are
it's
sex horses.
it's only lawful and neutral. Unless you're like me and you kind of get chaotic neutral as a privilege. But so his name is Saturday because I have modeled him after the motherfucking weekend. And he sings the weekend songs to people.
He does.
You know, so it's like fuck it, just do some stupid shit. Have fun with it. Yes, you're gonna look stupid. I guarantee you I'm one of the dumbest looking motherfuckers at any table I'm at, but it's fine because I just have fun with it.
As long as like your table is like that's your responsibility as a GM is to check the vibe of
Yeah.
your table
Yeah.
and make sure that nobody's gonna feel bad about themselves or feel like an outcast for acting like that.
Yeah.
And it's your job to check that if it starts to happen.
Yeah.
Like if people are starting to like talk shit about somebody or starting to get like ugly about something, it's your job to control that and to check that. Because y'all all know that my tables are complete and utter chaos. Like that is the only way that
Yeah.
I these tables is just pure chaos. But we're all having fun and we're all
Oh
supporting
no,
each
not
other,
at all.
all loving each other. What'd you say?
I said no, your table's chaos, not at all. Never.
Nope, it's completely sane, quiet, nothing happens. But
Baguette.
I also have like that's my job is that if the vibe's getting off or if somebody's being like just either extra or ostracized or something's happening like that, it's my job to either rein that in or talk to that player on the outside of the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's been a couple people that I haven't allowed to play on my Fallout table because I know how they would drive this campaign and I don't want that
Yeah. Yeah. And that's fine.
because I
mean,
know that
think-
they wouldn't fit the vibe of the table.
Yeah, and that's part of it is like that, you know, that controlling the human interaction portion of it. It sucks, but I mean, you have to at some
If
point
you have-
make that decision.
If you have the right people though, it doesn't suck. Like you guys are
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Well, like, and that's kind of a point that I would like to make is if you'll go into it with the mindset of, hey, I'm here to have fun and so is everybody else, even if you don't know any of these people, you can form some pretty amazing friendships,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Like
Uh,
Kristen and I don't really like know each other. I don't really know most of y'all outside of the
Yeah.
table, right? But Kristen and I have a mutual friend who I got him to play in a D&D campaign. He was in my one shot, by the way. He was playing a frost giant barbarian who
That
was
tracks.
picking up our dragonborn druid and using him as a club.
That also tracks.
And it was and that was one of those things where I was like, I have no clue how to do this, so like we just made up the rule as we went and it worked.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, but he's talking about it on Facebook, and then Kristen's like, I had no idea you played D&D. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, I played over at my buddy's Noah's house. And then Kristen's like, wait a second, you and AJ know each other? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it was
And then
wild.
it's like, and then it was like, I need some more people at my table. Do you want to play at my table? And I'm like, absolutely. And now, you know, I've been playing with you guys for what, 5-6 months now, and
Yeah.
you know,
Hold on,
Wednesday
Jenna, check her
nights,
notes just a second.
right?
Yes.
Wednesday nights is my favorite night of the week, you know, regardless of whatever table I'm at. Cause you know, you know, I'm in the group chat, I'm at the table with you guys, I'm in the other group chat and the other table with them, you know, me and her other guy, at the 7th seat. Well, you guys know Matt.
Yeah.
Me
we
and
know.
Matt,
Yeah.
me and
Yeah.
Matt have clicked. Matt and
yeah.
I are ride or die, and we are
Yeah.
planning some shit for that 7th C game
yeah.
that is
They're
going
on
to
both my tables. Right.
drive Kristen up the wall when we get it to work.
Can't wait
know.
for that. But
But it's like
Also-
you'll meet awesome people and you'll form
Yeah.
friendships. Just
I've
just
formed
go for
friendships
it.
at COD games, people I literally didn't know 5 minutes before I played with them, and it was a blast. You know what I mean? Like, it just depends. It just depends on, you know, the vibe of the table. But yeah, sometimes you just click with people. They can be
Absolutely.
complete strangers. Like, we clicked, and I was a complete stranger to all of you guys. You know what I mean? And, it was,
and I'm glad you're here. Like I
Yeah.
love that you took a chance on me and
Yeah.
was like, absolutely, I'll play on your table. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Which, in all
November.
honesty, like in full disclosure, Joe, I'm trying to not call you Eddie right now.
It's all
Joe,
good. It's all good.
like I was worried about you playing on my table because I was like, he's gonna like hate this because I just
Why?
had 2 other people leave my other table before, so I was a little like gun checked. And I was like, I don't know. I hope he loves it because like you knew all the rules and you were asking all the questions. And I was like, I
Oh
have no
yeah,
clue
yeah.
how to run this game. Like I know nothing about this game.
Yeah, I mean, like as a GM, I know not to like. I mean, like I don't care, and and I knew enough about the rules because I looked through the rule book, but then I realized that these rules are terrible. So I was just like, whatever. Like I don't care. Like I mean, it's rulings over rules for me. So it's just like
Yes,
just
yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes,
Well,
sir.
yeah.
and
So it's like I
Matthew,
was. The only time
go
I
ahead.
ever rule lawyer is when the GM becomes a dick to somebody. If a GM is bullying, then I start to become a dick too. And
Yeah.
and it's not I'm not fully aware of it, but it happens.
Well, and you guys are giving your time to me. Like that is
Yeah,
your
yeah,
valuable time outside of
yeah,
work, outside of whatever you're doing. That is your time that you're devoting to me, and I need to honor that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
And
absolutely. That
yeah.
Matthew,
yes.
Marty on our table, ETM on the other table, Noah's BFF is the one that actually got me into tabletop gaming because
That's my tabletop boyfriend.
before I got separated, um, my stepson was having a lot of trouble with anger issues, and his mother wasn't putting him in counseling. And I was like, well, his world's out of control. Let me find a
Yeah.
world that he can control. Let me give him something he can fully control. So I reached out to Matthew, who I had never met in person before. I met him on the Nextdoor app, and I said, hey, can you run a game for my kids? Because I really need my stepson to get better. Please help me help him get better. So that's how I met Matthew, and that's how I even really got introduced into tabletop gaming. And then Matthew invited me to beta test Fallout. And then he invited me to play on the 7th Sea table. And I played exactly 2 sessions of 7th Sea and started running my own campaigns. But Matthew, going back to the rule of cool and stuff, Matthew had to, on our 7th Sea table that he was running, create stats to beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker. He had to come up with the stats for another motherfucker. So like you roll with what the players want, and it's something the
Yeah.
player really is adamant about, or that they really need to tell their story, or they really just need to get out of their head. You make it work. You figure it out. You work with the player behind the scenes, and you make it work. Like the whole character arc that we just had for Maddie's character, from day one, she's been messaging me behind the scenes. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to do. And she's never done it before,
Yeah,
but she was so into it that I was going to give her exactly what she wanted.
yeah. It was fun. It was a great story. We had an
Yeah,
amazing
it was.
story.
And like
And
I'll say to Maddie's story, like I have a tendency because I am so high strung and I am so fucking hyperactive. Shocker, have a tendency to, for lack of a better term, take over when it's my turn, because I get so into it, and sometimes I have a problem
I do
just
the same
shutting up.
thing. I do the
Yeah,
we
same
all do
thing.
because
it.
Yeah,
yeah, because you're in your character, it's your moment,
yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like, I gotta say my piece and get my thing out. But like Maddie's having this moment, and it was so cool to just for once at Kristen's table just sit back and like, I mean, I spent most of the night like this, like smile on my face, drink in my hand. I had my name called like twice, and I didn't have a problem with it because I was watching another person like have their what I call superhero,
yeah.
Yeah.
climax moment. It's RDJ. I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Like, and
Yeah,
and that's really cool. And if you can create that moment for your players, it becomes really special. Which is like
yeah,
why my big campaign I've been working with each one of them individually behind the scenes, and I'm like, okay, listen, I know normally I wouldn't do this. I need backstory. I need lots of it because each of you are going to have a fucking superhero moment
yeah,
every single session. One of you I'm going to pick. You're going to have your moment. Once we get all those out of the way, eventually when we get to the end, we're going to have that on your left Avengers Assemble type moment, and it's all going to culminate, and then you all of you will have worked together for this one thing.
But
So
who doesn't dream of that? Like in their real life, of being the main character, of being the hero, of being that person. And I want to make sure everybody has that. Because you're gonna go home, Jen, you're gonna go tell your husband, guess fucking what happened today?
Mm-hmm.
Kristen put me in a pink bikini. That's what happened today.
Right? It's like I do it to my wife, who my wife is not a part of nerd culture in any way, shape, or form. Like
She will be.
she,
She will be eventually.
she's not a gamer. Yeah, I drag her to Marvel movies.
I
You know,
wasn't a gamer when I met my husband.
she doesn't understand tabletop and card games. But when I ran my first game, I said, "Hey, I need another body to make this an even number. I know this isn't your thing, but would you please do this with me?" And she was like, I mean, I guess I don't really want to, but yeah, okay, I will. And then next thing you know, she's been a member of this 2-year campaign. And like, I wouldn't say she's full blown into nerd culture yet, but she plays at my table, And so like every Wednesday after we get done, I will immediately run into the bedroom. You ain't gonna believe the shit that Lando or Saturday or fucking Joe or Scribbles, anybody. Yeah, it's just, and it's cool. It's cool. And everybody gets to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Well, and then I gave Sally a junk jet full of frogs
Yep.
because
Yeah,
that's what she
yeah.
fucking wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted the junk jets. You had the frogs.
I had the
we
frogs.
Made it
Let's
work,
make it work.
My
and
favorite
it
part of
was
that.
glorious.
My favorite part of that session for my characters was when I had like million scribbles in the room and I just shut the door and let them do whatever. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
well, bye.
You just walked out.
Whatever happens, happens.
Plausible deniability. I don't know.
Yeah, that was just locked them in the room with the two people who hated them most. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Anything else you guys have on your minds?
This has been
No,
fun.
I
though.
really enjoyed this, and I think
Yeah,
that
it's
the
fun.
biggest thing, and it's looking at the time, like my gosh, how much time has passed, and it's the same thing with the sessions. When I'm having a good session with you guys, I'm like, holy shit, it's been 2 hours already. What the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
And
And I do that as a GM. I'm like, I have to watch the time to make sure we're not going till like midnight.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's like
I
back in
mean,
high
if we
school where I
Noah,
played
used
on
to play by
Friday or
6
Saturday,
hours.
we could go till midnight. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Noah,
Yes,
you have
ma'am.
been playing with us since November. Your first session with us was November 16th.
Look at me. I'm still the baby, and I love it.
you are.
Well, you were tied with Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you came in
Oh
like
yeah, that's right. Casey and I are
Team.
table buddies together.
yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're table
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah, what is that his first tabletop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's
Really?
cool too, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, and like if you can like hold new players' hands, do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Yeah.
do that,
Well, I think
because it's if you will hold their hand and not necessarily like play it safe for them, but
No.
like let them know, hey, I got you. I-
yeah.
if Lando dies on Wednesday, because this is Fallout week, right?
This is Fallout
Mhm.
Week,
Yeah.
yes.
This
Okay,
is one.
if
Yeah.
Lando dies on Wednesday, it will be fine. I will have a new character ready. I have 17 of them to choose from that I've already made. But the thing that will make it worth it is that Casey is comfortable at the table.
Yeah.
And I get to feel that, when I get the message, hey, you're gonna start our first night, or your first night's gonna be Wednesday. Also, I got another guy, it's gonna be his first night. So once you talk to him, blah blah blah. And it's like, I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that I hold any responsibility for his fun at the table, but I get to
Yeah.
know that, hey, I I made the effort to make sure that the new guy at the table has fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
and
I
two
me
noticed
and
meshed
that.
so
I
Casey,
noticed
well
that.
that
Yeah.
dude,
It's
me and Casey
Casey,
are
it's Casey, it's Sally, it's Millie, it's Sam. Those are all. Am I missing anybody? Those are all. This is their first campaign ever. This is
Yeah.
the first time they ever
Yeah.
played. So our table's got 4 brand new people on it.
I
and
think
it-
it's
and that's
also
a beautiful thing.
yeah. I think it also helps though that we all know the setting too, so we can all visualize the same things. And so
Yes.
like but yeah, with Casey, like he just bought the starter set for Fallout 2. Like he's fully into it now, isn't he? Like he's like
Yeah.
yeah, he's one of
Well-
us now. We got new
Well, like,
comrades.
look, I played like 3 tabletop games, and then I got this tattoo on my leg of a dragon with dice.
Oh,
Like-
it's so
Oh,
precious.
are we showing off tabletop tattoos? Look at that D20 done by my daughter-in-law, Jessica Lyons, at the Wicked Clover in Dublin, Texas.
Quick plug there.
Yeah,
like,
well, she specializes in glitter tattoos, and I would
Oh,
never let
okay.
her do one. And then she was like, "Hey, I drew this for you," and I was like, "All right, you got me."
fucker.
I love her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna get
Noah,
my
with the way that you and
Yeah.
Casey mesh, you think that you two have known each other forever.
Oh, yeah.
The way that you guys mesh
Yeah.
with your characters is just
Oh,
it-
that's my wasteland bestie right there. That's my
yeah.
ride or die. Yeah, no, you if you fuck with Randall the Vandal, you fucking with Lando. All right, and Chicken Deluxe don't take no shit.
Noah just adopts strays, I think is what happens.
Yeah.
I just adopt strays because nobody wanted to adopt me.
We'll accept you. We'll adopt you. We got you.
Yeah. We adopted you. You just brought a friend.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
You had a built-in buddy.
Hey, battle buddies for life. It's fine. It's
Battle
my ride or
buddies.
die.
So I guess we should do an outro and head out then at this point.
Are we wrapping this up? Are we wrapping
yeah,
this
I
up?
think we probably should.
Do you want me to put some
I
razzle
think
dazzle on it?
Yeah, put the razzle dazzle on it. Sprinkle a little
Okay,
razzle dazzle.
Have we decided we're gonna make this a regular occurrence?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ladies and
Remember
gentlemen,
this?
we did not storm the Capitol, but we stormed your hearts and minds and your motherfucking eardrums. This has been the Monday Night RPG Talk Show on Degenerates with Dice, and we hope you love that shit. And we also hope that you have nothing but nat 20s for the rest of the week until we see you again. Leave it all on the tabletop, and we'll be behind the screens. Peace.
Thanks, guys, and also, back Subversion on Kickstarter. Do it before it's too late. It's an amazing game. See ya. Bye.
Y'all have a good one.